Howdy do, y'all. The Last Witch Hunter stars Vin Diesel, and it's about a guy from, like, medieval times, and he's got a beard, and he fights a witch person, queen. God, this is rough. He fights a witch person, and then she gives him immortality, and then he goes into the future, and then he kills witches like a witch cop, and stuff happens with witches, and witches do witch things. That's all you need to know going into this. If you were interested in what I just said to you, then you are going to enjoy this film. Ultimately, what it's going to come down to is whether or not you like schlocky, stupid films. If you like movies where it's just like, you gotta get the witch and kill her because witches are bad, then you're going to like this because it's that simple. For example, there is a prison in which they put witches, and it's called Witch Jail. I'm not kidding. That's a real thing that happens in this movie. I personally, I'm just gonna say, I did not like this film. It's very dumb, and I mean that in the worst way possible. The screenplay makes no sense. I found myself many times saying, "What? What?" Very few scenes in this film actually make legitimate sense in the context of the larger film. If you saw the trailer and you saw Vin Diesel and you were like, ooh, I want to see Vin Diesel slaying witches, boom, this is the movie for you. This is perfect for you because you can just sit there, turn your brain off, and just watch Vin Diesel kill witches with a flaming sword. That's a witch. The acting in this film is competent. Vin Diesel is a very charismatic man. He's good at what he does. He's probably the best guy for this role, and if he wasn't in this film, you would not even care. Michael Caine is not in a lot, but he's serviceable. The girl from Game of Thrones, Rose Leslie, something like that, she's fine as this kind of sidekick character. Elijah Wood is actually really entertaining in the earlier scenes. He kind of takes a backseat later on to the Game of Thrones chick. All the acting is competent. That's the farthest it ever goes, is competent. It's entertaining seeing Vin Diesel fight the witches, but the problem is that the action is filmed so horribly. It's just this fast-cutting, shaky cam, and it's weird because it looks like Vin Diesel's actually doing good stunt work. He flips a witch over his shoulder at one point, and it looks cool if I could see it. But you can't, and that's a big problem with this film. It's, at times, I think I have cake on my face. I should have checked beforehand. At times this film is handsomely mounted. There's a scene at the end in a field that looks kind of nice. I was like, hey, that's pretty. But for the vast majority of this film, it's difficult to look at because it's bright and has this weird kind of, like, dark bright. And it's not fun to look at. I didn't like seeing this at all, from an aesthetic standpoint. The plotting makes no sense. The screenplay is really corny and cheesy and corny. That's a word I haven't used in a while. And the final battle, because you gotta know that this is about witches and there's gonna be a big witch battle at the end. That final battle is the most anticlimactic thing I've seen all year. And it's up there with Fantastic Four for anticlimacticness, because it just, like, he's looking at the witch and they're about to face off, and then they like set up this thing where she has to like go into a dream. I swear to God this happens. She has to like set up the dream, and then he's like, I gotta go over here, and he does this one thing, and then he has to fight the witch while she's in the dream, and they set it up like it's gonna be this big whole thing, and then you just like, oh, alright, well, that sucked. And that's what a lot of this film is. It's just like anticlimactic things supposed to happen, and then they don't, and then it's like, hey, did you like that? And then they say a stupid line, and you're like, you're not funny. I'm sorry. I know it may sound like I'm bashing this film, and it's because I am, because it's really bad, and I didn't like the vast majority of it. I found the intro, the opening sequence is a lot of fun. There's a great sequence with him fighting a witch, and he's got this beard on, and he has like a Macklemore haircut, and that scene is a lot of fun to watch, and it's the most competently produced scene in the entire film. But overall, I didn't like the vast majority of this film. I can't say that I recommend you checking this out in theaters. I would recommend that you check this out on cable when you get a chance. So Yeah, I definitely recommend that you wait for cable because this is a very dumb film that you can just sit back on a rainy day and just throw some popcorn at your face. And that's where this fits. You watch it with your friends and you laugh at it because it's really stupid, and I'm going to have to give it a D+. Alright, thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more reviews, you can click my last Blu-ray review here, boom, or if you're on a mobile device, you can click up there. Check out SoupwithCrackers.com, check out my Twitter, @SoupwithCrackers, check out my Facebook, just look up SoupwithCrackers. Thank you guys for watching, have a good day. Woo! Got through that one quick! 'Cause